Gary Morrison is with us right now. He is, of course, on the United Board as their treasurer, and he's going to give us a financial rundown, right?
Good
Welcome,
morning.
by the way.
Good morning.
Nice
How are
to have
you?
you here.
You
Very
had a
good.
good holiday?
I did.
Great.
Yes, very good.
Okay, I'm going to give you the figures as of October 31st, 2018. The total revenues for the year were $34,019,000. Our expenses to date were $34,789,000, which gives us a loss of $77,000 or $770,000, and over 10 months, which is $77,000. And you know, that's pretty good because we're 1 to 2% over our budget. So I am happy with that.
Very good.
Our budget was better primarily, or that the revenues were better primarily due to employee compensation. We had savings due to vacant positions in maintenance, and we are actively recruiting in that area. Materials and supplies, more cost-effective products selected for water heater replacements. Building structures, to date, minimal work has been required, so we saved some money there. Landscape revitalization, scope of work has not yet been determined for the reserve program. Water lines, remediation work on buildings that were kind of going faster. That'll begin in September, so that's not in here yet. So as a percentage, our non-assessment revenues of $1,401,242, 41% is from interest income, 44% fees and charges to residents, 14,000 laundry, 20% resale processing fees, 18% lease processing fees, and the rest is just sort of spread over different areas. Our total expenses, $34 million, 33% was employee compensation and related, 24% property and sales tax, 17% outside services, 10% utilities and telephone, 7% materials and supplies. So our balance sheet at current month end 10/31/2018 was $82,302,089. Our prior year, $80,101,294. So we have an increase of $2,200,795. Our delinquency report, current month, we had 19 delinquencies, and our prior month was 16, so we went up 3. Our current month dollar assessment that is owed is $95,797. Our prior month, $82,731, so we went up $13,000. For an HOA of this size, we are in very good shape as far as delinquencies are concerned. It's not a concern. I like to keep them low, but yeah. I'm not concerned by that amount of money. And generally in United, we get the money back anyway. If the person has to sell, right, we get first dibs on getting that money back. We had one foreclosure sale December 31st of 2018, or we're going to. Then we've got another foreclosure sale set up for January 30th, 2019. We have 2 notice of sales prepared and sent for publication, 1 lien, and 5 proposed payment plans. Our chargeable services delinquency report, we stayed the same as the previous month. We had, our current month is $108,019, which went up $14,000 from the previous month. Our resales this year, 307 compared to last year of 395. We're down 88, which is 22%. Our sales volume, or dollars, for 2018 to date is 85,826,240. Our volume for 2017 was 100,429,876. So we're down $14 million, or about 14.5%. Our average resale price is $279,477. Last year was $253,904. We're up $25,573, which is a 10% increase over the previous year. Our monthly leasing is at 8% and remains pretty much the same. The proposed business plan for United Mutual, the total basic assessment per manor is, including GRF, will increase $9.53 per manor, or 2% when compared to the current year budget. I also want to say that the budget for 2019 is currently being mailed to each of you, and you should be receiving that budget packet this weekend. We have started an investment policy task force, and the way that has been set up, each of the treasurers from United, Third, and GRF have met, and then we have chosen one other person who has experience in investments. So what we're doing is studying to see if we're getting an adequate return on the amount of monies that we have invested. And the reason mainly is because the percentage that we're seeing that we're getting isn't even keeping up with CPI.
Right, right.
So we are going to put out an RFI to begin with, and that's a request for information from different vendors to tell us what they can do to increase our investment. And then after we get that back, we will put out an RFQ, and then we will bring in the finalists and interview them and find out who can give us the best deal. Because right now we're not sure that the company that we have is doing the best that they can for us.
Okay.
That group is made up of Diane Phelps from GRF, myself, Michael Cunningham, Jack Connolly, and Steve Leonard. The funding for waistline remediation, as I've been stating, that's kind of one of my big pushes.
Right.
So we've pushed that from 12 years to 6 years, and as a result, our moisture intrusion costs are down. Forecast for the end of this year are going to be down $200,000 to $300,000 because we're not having to pay for that cleanup of water.
Yeah.
The funding for supply line remediation, we're addressing that in 2019. That has kind of been put on hold because we're using those funds for the waste lines to push that forward, and that was based on a decision. We don't see the damages or the water intrusion from the supply line copper that we're having from waste line. So in order to cut all of that cost, what we're trying to do is move everything into waste line. Once we get waste line under control, then we'll go into supply line.
Okay.
And then we'll also at that time go into our electric panel replacements, which we're also behind. But we're trying to take things in an order to cut the costs to the association, to the mutual.
Yeah. A lot of stuff, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Handyman program seems to be going well. I'm not hearing complaints. And I think that, you know, everything seems to be going well as far as the financials dealing with that are concerned. Flood buzz, as we talked about before, was voted not to address by our board. They did not want to get into the costs dealing with that at this point because we just have too many other things.
Okay.
CPI is it's a concern to me from the point of view, some of it is built into our budget. However, with the president setting up another 3% tariff on goods coming into the country, I'm concerned, and mainly it's probably going to hit GRF because of all of the vehicles and the different things that they buy. But then it affects us also in the long term. So I am concerned about that. GRF finance, we reviewed and passed the 2019 business plan. We discussed the need for emergency generators in our commercial buildings and clubhouses, and that's also based on our disaster prepared task force, which I'm going to discuss at the end here and try to entice people to join that group of people because we need help. The 3% tariffs I've discussed. We discussed the trust facility fee policy. And a one-time non-refundable origination fee of $300 for the preparation of a promissory note and related records. We discussed payment options, late charges, and prepayments. We discussed insurance renewals for GRF. We also discussed supplemental funding for the gatehouses, for the gates, arms. Supplemental funding for the community. We are into an energy program right now. We have an energy consulting task force which is putting together a program to study solar and to try to put together a program that is going to be beneficial and lower the costs of the association.
All right.
Clubhouse 3 renovations have been scaled back to $2 million, which are just what are required to keep us in compliance with city and state. So I guess at this point I would like to discuss disaster prepared task force.
Okay.
And if you all are not aware of what that is, it's a group of residents who give their time to come to a meeting once a month, and we're putting together plans. Let's say we have an earthquake. And we have a building captain, and that's basically what I really need people to come forward and become a building captain. And what this does, if we have a disaster, that person goes out and tags doors if there's an injury inside, and they put, there'll be a door tag that they put on so that when the emergency responders come, they can go right in and take care of that person. Depending on the injury, we're putting together plans that we triage in one of our clubhouses where we have physicians and nurses who are volunteering. Any very physically injured people, we will make sure they get to the hospitals. We have a total plan that Chief Moy has put together, which is unbelievable, actually. I
Okay.
mean, it's just everything, and we're still working to enhance that plan. But we do need people to volunteer because United is short in
Okay.
building captains.
All right.
So that's it for me.
All right. Very good. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You take care. Happy
Thanks
holidays
a lot.
to you.
Same to you.
We'll be right back.